Hi guys, welcome back for this week's retro scratch game, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've done Snake. I remember spending many a lost hour on Snake on my Nokia phone back in the 90s, so I thought I would bring it to life in Scratch. As the same as last week's tutorial, this won't be a tutorial about moving blocks around in Scratch, but it will be doing a deep dive into what the code is actually talking about. As you can see, the snake goes around, eats the apples, the snake gets longer, and you score more points. And I just want to get up to double figures before I go and kamikaze into the wall to show that that second number came up there. So get this apple, and then I'm just going to go off, and we've set boundaries because the snake will die if it touches itself or if it touches the save, and the game over will be here. So let's go into the code. I'm going to start first of all with our backdrop. Let's have a look at that, and it's just literally, these are 20 by 20 grid squares on this grid, and our snake moves around it, and our apple will get placed on the crosshair of these grids, and that's where the snake moves along. So it means that the snake will directly hit the apple. But let's have a look at some of our code. Oh yeah, just to mention that these are done in bitmaps, so that we can go in and edit the shape of them if we wish to. And remember, we mentioned last week, vectors were for those squares, those sharp, crisp edges that you wanted, where bitmap let us do a little bit more going in and editing and making the shapes our own. Right, so let's start looking at the code of our apple. So first of all, we've got that when the flag is clicked, we set our apple size to 25%, and we broadcast move apple. So if we look on here, so I click here, you'll see straight away my apple moved from where it was. You'll get used to that noise. And that's because we've got this bit here. We say pick random, anywhere between -9 and 9, but times by 20. And it's that times by 20 that ensures that that apple ends up on the crosshairs, and we're then directly in line with our snake. If we look at our snake body, let's just scroll up a minute. Once again, we've got the first thing that we want to make sure is if we've got anybody, when we restart the game and we click on that flag, that the body is set to hidden. Then when we receive a message called draw body, this is where this part kicks in. So every time we get the message draw body, we get a part of our clone. So every time the head moves, this redraws the whole body from scratch using the list. And yeah, just to talk about the variables that I've got in this game are direction, game running, eye, score and segment. And today we've also introduced a list. And if I show the list up here, what it does is it shows 2 of those are allocated to the head, and then the body sets in from part 3 onwards, and that's how that all fills up. But we can just hide that again. So that's why we've got this bit here. It says do this once every body piece. We divide by 2 because each piece needs 2 spots, left and right and up and down. And then we're making those segments there, that's those pieces of it, and we actually create a clone. So as you can see, we've just got one piece, no extra costumes, just that single costume, and each time we make a clone of that. And then later on, here we go, it says put this body piece where the list says. So remember that list of the snake? It tells it where that body piece goes, where that segment is going, and we then say show. We also tidy up because if we repeatedly putting these pieces down, we need to be repeatedly clearing up the old pieces. So that's what the delete clone is all about. It's saying clear my snake so that I can put a new snake down. The snake head is the complicated part. This is where we sort of go a little bit deeper into what's happening. We've got here the basics where at the start of the game, what we want to do, we click that flag, we want everything to be set to 0. The direction goes off towards the right, which is our direction 1. We set the game running and we've got a switch, a 1-0 switch. 1 means the game is running. We start with no snakes, so we delete it all, and then we put the head at the center and we go from there. And remember also that triggers that when clicked the apple movement as well back on the apple sprite. We put it again in a forever loop. Forever loops mean that it keeps on going, and we've got the condition there. The game, it will keep on going. The game is running and equals 1. So our variable game running, when that equals 1, then this is all going to keep happening all the time. Now, in Snake, if we were going right, you weren't allowed to go straight back left because you'd eat your own body. And the same if you're going up, you're not allowed to go straight back down because you'd eat your own body. So you'd have to go sort of left, up, right, and or down, left, up, and move around like that. And we allow that for that in this logic here, where it says key right arrow pressed. So we're saying if we press the right arrow and the direction is not 2, which means we're not travelling left, because we've named our directions. 1 is right, left is 2, up is 3, and down is 4. So and the same here, we've got here, if the left arrow is pressed and we're not going in direction 1, so we're not going right, then you can go left. And the same here for the up and down. If the up arrow is pressed and we're not going down, then you can go up. And then this final bit of logic here just gets the actual movement of the snake once those ifs have been confirmed. So we then say if it is direction 1, then change by 20, change by -20 to go in the opposite direction, 20 to go upwards, but it's our Y that we're changing, and then -20 to go down. And we've then got this add an X and Y position, and we're adding them to snakes. That's our snake list, remember. And we're saying, remember where the head is right now, and save these positions because you're going to add the body to the next part. Also though, with that position of the head, we're saying if you hit the sides, and that's what's going on here, if the X position, so this is your head we're talking about, is greater than 235, or the X position is less than -235, and they're the Y positions, then it's game over because you've touched the side of the screen, which kills you. And then this is where we check on the item and that we check we haven't touched the snake itself. And if we have, once again, it broadcasts the game over for us. And then we've got this here where we jump forward to, remember I mentioned in the list, just to make sure we leave space for that head, and then we move forward to. This is the bit where we're touching the apple, where we trigger that apple code that we mentioned earlier. And you can see there, first of all, we get that munching sound when we eat the apple, that chomp, which is here. And so that says start that sound. And also the score changes, and once the apple's been eaten, we broadcast that, move that apple. And we keep on repeating this, and this keeps us, and we got this little bit of code here which says we're not, okay, and this part here is making sure that our snake stays the right length. And also here that we need to delete parts in the snake list as well. And finally we broadcast that clear, And so before we draw a body, we have to clear the old snake, and then we draw the new snake, and then we've got a little weight of 0.1. So that's how the mechanics of the game work. And then we've got our scoring, we've got our ones, which is quite easy. As soon as the green flag is pressed, this forever loop triggers, and it says switch costume to score mod 10. And what that does is that it makes sure we only see a whole integer. Okay, so we're looking at the numbers that we're seeing. And then on this one, for example, you've got the score there, and this time we're dividing the score by 10, and we're saying if that score after it's divided by 10 is less than 1, then you're just going to put 0 in, because we don't need our 10s. But if this floor here, what that does is we sort of say, right, let's divide the score by 10. So for example, 23 would be 2.3. The floor then gets rid of anything after the decimal place. So now we've just got a 2. So now we're telling our costumes to show the number 2. And this is how they work. We've just got literally 1 to 9 and then a 0 in our costumes. You can vaguely see them there, which allows them to come up in this bitmap format. And our final bit is our game over. Our game over is just the end of the game. We have the sound which I just downloaded from an old retro site, and I don't think it was quite that on the Nokia. I think it went or something like that. And so we've got that coming. We've got the game running now. Gets set to 0. Remember, we said 1 is when the game is working, 0 is when the game is over. We grab this sprite, this game over sprite, and we're shoving it back into the middle of our screen, and we're showing it. And that's how the game ends. Well, I hope you find the deep dive into this code useful, and starting to understand how the blocks work in Scratch. Next week we continue the series with Frogger, that great 80s arcade game, and we'll be building that on Scratch again. As always, the codes for today's and last week's is on Scratch. If you want to remix it, there's a link in the description down below, or if you just want to build it for yourself, just copy the blocks that are here. Any problems, write them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all, and I will see you again next time.